It'll be like this. It'll be like clap. They're like, what?
Yeah, but it's called the internet, and we're back on the internet with Salient Points number 56. This episode is for February 16th. I know there was the Super Bowl came around, and then we might have drank a little bit, so you got a little bit of a headache. And then Dalan, of course, had a very special Valentine's Day, right? Dalan, you have to go out and do the whole thing, right? I hope you gave your significant other flowers and all that, Dalan. You went all out for your significant other over there.
We got Yoshinoya and bought a pan.
You're doing it up big. You're doing it up big. I am Carlos Macias, the host of this here fine program, and who you heard that did it up big for Valentine's Day. Got some Yoshish, as I like to call it. Dalan, you got some Yoshish. Dalan Kirkwood up in the mountains. Thank you for joining me, sir.
You're welcome. Very welcome. Hey, get that timing down.
And then we also got Luis Mendez on the Wheels of Steel. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Yeah, we made it.
We don't have a Deo Blas this week, but we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss it. But you know what? He didn't want us talking shit to him, I'm sure, because he was saying that LA fans are insufferable, and we were gonna keep it insufferable if he was gonna make it on the program.
Hey man, the whole time I was like, I'm here for the upset. I wanted Cincinnati to win just to make the Ram people upset.
Oh, see, Dale would have liked you, man, because you were going for the other team. But anyways, congratulations to the Rams, I suppose. I know you guys are here listening because you're sports fans, of course. But you know what? Enough about that, Dalan. What's the biggest things this week? I think they actually just talked about it. Cyberpunk 2077 finally goes next gen. Apparently, there's a next-gen patch. It's patch 1.5. It's for Xbox Series X and for the speaker, as DJ Khaled would call it. So there's an official update for that. I know some people are having problems upgrading the game because of region lock issues. And there's also a 5-hour trial. Are you seeing Dalan loading right now, Luis? Is that just me?
Yeah, he disconnected and reconnected, I think.
There's some serious issues with that man.
Hey, calm down, Carlos. I'm still here.
I don't see you. I forget.
I don't know what to tell
All
you.
I see you is blinking. So look, we're gonna be right back. Right off the bat, we're gonna be right back in a second. We'll see you guys in a quick second. Here we go. So after some technical issues, right from the start, Dalan. Thank you very much for that. Luis, you said you're good on the audio aspect, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right.
We should play that Super Mario 2 music.
Oh, if you got, if it won't take you too much trouble. But as we were saying, Cyberpunk 2077, we finally got the next gen patch, and 5-hour free trial. I gotta be honest with you guys though. As far as this is concerned, as far as Cyberpunk 2077, I already beat this game. I platinumed it. I know they added some new apartments, and some new customization features and a couple more text dialogue for the romanticizing aspects of the game or whatever. I'm not going back for that. I'm going back till when they give us some actual legitimate DLC. But for you guys, Dalan, we'll start off with you, man. Is this what you were waiting for to get back into Cyberpunk or nah? You're just gonna leave it alone.
As soon as I found out it was a thing, I actually just reinstalled the game on my PlayStation, loaded it up to see if it was any different. First thing that happened is I accidentally hit somebody on the side of the road, and my car tripped out, went into the cement, and flew into the air for a couple of seconds and came back down. I was like, okay, so the glitches are still kind of there.
So it's still happening. This is still happening. Do you think the 5-hour trial will convince anybody, dude? I mean, people must have picked this game up when it was $10-$15, right? Who are they trying to catch at this point? Well, I guess the people that didn't even want to
anybody.
The $10-$15, right? So the 5-hour trial should give you. I think it's a good little goodwill, right? It's you know what? Try it out. Just give us a shot, please.
Yeah, at least the game had a free PS5 update, so that was a good thing. So if they're trying to sell the PS5 version for more than the PS4 version, just buy the PS4 version, get your free update.
I don't think they have an official PS5 version of it. I think it's all PS4 or Xbox.
Yeah, and just buy PS4.
Xbox does the Series X. Well, it's not that you're saying but just buy the PS4. I mean, it is the only option available. Is what I'm trying to tell you. There is no just buy this one versus the other one. No, that's the only option. Luis, what are your thoughts on this, man? did you play through this? Are you gonna actually finally give it a shot? Or
I did not. I was one of those people that waited out when all the news started coming out about all the glitches, people losing progress, not being able to get trophies, that kind of thing. Um, and then by the time that happened, I just in my head was like, okay, then whenever I feel like playing it, I'll just buy it on PC. So I'm happy for them that they got this next gen update or whatever, but I was already never going to play it on console anyway. So
He's
it's
just
just a
gonna get
matter
the
of like,
full version, the one that they actually worked on.
yeah, it's just whenever I get time for it. It was on sale recently, and I was really close to buying it, but had to pass on it. So
yeah,
I'll get to it at some
it's
point.
definitely one of those things. Like it's been so long, man. At this point, and it's like people that played through it. Like I understand that it's gonna look prettier and all that, but it's like, and I don't know. Even some people online, I was like, all of a sudden the story was good. I'm like, really? You guys were not saying this shit when this came out. When I was saying the story was decent and I actually had some fun with it. But to me, it's kind of like, I'm waiting for the DLC, like some legitimate DLC to finally drop before I dip back into. Maybe I'll pop it in just to kind of see if there was too many changes. But I did play it on PS5 originally, and it didn't have really. It was wacky though. You know what you're saying, Dylan? The car flies up and then comes back down. That happened a couple times, but other than that, it was playable. Besides the fact that there was like a mission glitch, and I had to replay like 10 hours, but that's fine. But that's fine. So
You really wanted to get through it. Hey, I will say this. The first thing I did while I was walking around was I started looking at the little kids to see if their faces looked like old men, and that was not the case. They actually looked like kids.
They actually
Oh,
went
they
back and
fixed
fixed
the
it.
kids.
If you guys don't know that, right? Like the kids are basically the grown-ups, but shrunken down. They basically shrunk their bodies. So
Nah, they actually gave them kid faces now.
yeah. Well, look, if you guys did it, go ahead and try it. It's a decent game. It was decent enough to where, like, you know what? I mean, like I said in my review, we got comp.com. So I said in my review, it's basically an Outer Worlds-ish type of game, and I had more fun with it. I actually had more fun with it, and I know this is gonna be controversial, but more than The Witcher, dude. The Witcher, I think I fought like one of those little falcon bosses or whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm out. But if you've been listening to this podcast, I don't like anything high fantasy. So, but I liked it more than The Witcher. I'm sorry. It's reminded me of Outer Worlds and Fallout and all that stuff.
Don't apologize. You like what you like.
That's true. I will not. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for giving me permission, Dalen, to like what I like.
You're welcome.
I needed your validation on that. So next up, last week, I think this is one of those times when something big happened right after we recorded or right after this drop. I think this was like Tuesday or Wednesday. But Nintendo, they had a Nintendo Direct. They gave us a whole big old announcement. I think the biggest one, and you guys might agree, but we're finally getting a sports sequel. It's Nintendo Switch Sports, right? Like kind of the Wii Sports. I know our homie Abel is very excited about this. I guess he's the biggest fan of Wii Sports. It's coming out April 29th. It's going to have, as an example, bowling, tennis, chambara, and they're adding soccer, volleyball, and badminton. I don't know about you guys, but I did like Wii Sports. I did like it, but it was really more of a kind of a sort of like a fad for me, and it was more like, you're under the influence a little bit, and you're like, we'll get down with Wii Sports. I don't know if I took it as seriously as apparently a lot of people did. Did you guys? Dalan, are you hyped about this sequel to Wii Sports?
If it wasn't for the archery, I wouldn't have even played that Wii. But I was looking at this trailer for this Wii, the Switch Sports, and I was like, man, these graphics look terrible. They have all these games with awesome graphics, including the Super Mario games that are coming out. What was it? I know we're not talking about it yet, but Strikers, and they came out with Mario Golf, and I know they came out with a bunch of other sports games. But then you look at this one, and I'm like, man, I feel like they went back to Wii U era to try and create this game.
It's clean graphics. They're trying to give you kind of a clean graphical style. All right,
I'm more concerned.
You just don't get it.
I'm more concerned about my controller drift. Or my controller working at all, for that matter. These Switch controls be going out real fast. Hey. And when they go out, it's nasty.
Hey, when we play, bring one of those faulty controllers when we play this Switch.
Hey, Brian already did. His left controller worked, but his right controller didn't.
You just got to believe in yourself, man. But yeah, so that comes out April 29th. Luis, what are your thoughts on the sequel that apparently a lot of people have been waiting for?
Good for them.
Oh.
That's it. I don't really care for this game, but yeah,
Straight
it's
up,
fine.
good for them.
Yeah. It will. I will have online play, and they're doing a beta for it. Are we at least joining the beta and joining?
I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, dude. I'm protesting.
All of a sudden,
I'm
all of a sudden,
protesting.
even though they added Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings.
Yep.
Damn, you guys really did it, huh? They didn't even give you the whole upgrade path to it. Like the next thing that they announced, Dalan, which was Mario Kart. We're not getting a 9, which we were getting a lot of rumors on the Twitter Nation. They were talking about, it's like, oh, we're getting Mario Kart 9, and Nintendo said, no, we will be giving you DLC, paid DLC, as part of our $50, $60 initiative, or however much it is. But you can have it for free, quote unquote free. Just pay us $50 a year for it. But Dalan, give us a little bit of the details. This was kind of like the biggest thing for you this past week, right? Can you give us a little
It
bit
was because first off, we've been going back to Mario Kart as you got crushed recently, Carlos, and so did your little brother.
I mean, if you're using lane assist, Dalan, how am I supposed to beat you?
Don't blame me. You need to learn how to drive. But
you're the one using lane assist.
Hey,
anybody could cheat.
Anybody could cheat.
Anybody could cheat. Carlos, stop cheating. All right, so Mario Kart, they decided that they're going to release 48 new courses, and that actually doubles the number of courses that are already in the game. But these are all remasters of the original courses from a bunch of different Mario Kart games, like Mario Kart Tour and Mario Kart 64 and stuff like that. Some of those cases, I was actually pretty happy to hear that they were bringing back Cocoa Mountain. I don't know what the heck Coconut Mall is. I guess that was a Wii version of it. Shroom Ridge was actually pretty fun. Sky Garden. But the fact is that they're going to be releasing 8 stages over the course of a whole year. So they're doing it in like little seasons like they did with Smash Brothers, like when they released a couple of characters. In this case, they're going to start out with 8 that they already announced. I mean, I could go through the whole list of the stages if you guys want, but people can find those online very easily. But the fact is, yes, there's that $50 price tag that comes with buying the expansion for the whole year. Unless you do it for the family, then it's $80, Carlos. But you can either do that or just pay $25 one time and just have all the courses and not have to continue to actually pay them. But I guess it just comes down to whether or not you really want the expansion and to have these things for free. However, you don't have to have the expansion to play the courses as long as somebody else has the courses. You don't even need to actually be online for it. As long as somebody comes and they have a copy and they have actually purchased the actual DLC, or you are playing with that person online, then you could actually still do it without having to buy the expansion or without buying the DLC at all.
Yeah, look, this is, and I appreciate that from Nintendo. Thank you for throwing us a single bone, Dalan. Or a single bone. Nintendo.
Hey, why'd you put that juju on me?
My bad, Dalan. I meant Nintendo. Thank you for, because I was looking at you. I needed to attack someone directly. But other than that, it's like Nintendo's just getting real fucking cute with the way they're trying to sell us that $50 a year thing, right? It's like, this is the way. This is what we're gonna see. This is the way for Mandalorian. This is the way.
They are trying to justify their expansion pass.
Yeah, so this is definitely the Nintendo way, right? This is what we're going to see going forward. We're going to see this because they said it starts March 2022, right? So next month. And it goes to the end of 2023 where they're just going to be doling out these tracks where they could have just either given us a Mario Kart 9, or I'm sure they were like, you know what will be less work? And we're looking at GTA 5 right now. We'll just give them more tracks. We'll just give them more tracks for the next year instead of creating a whole brand new game. And we're gonna try to sell the $50 a year. But don't worry.
Hey, you know what?
For $25.
You said this, and I thought to myself right now, man, if they're gonna double up the tracks, literally double up the tracks, why didn't they just make all these tracks for Mario Kart 9?
I think it's easier, dude. It's the GTA 5 model. By the way, put the camera on me. Stop logging into GTA 5, please.
You basically just told everybody to stop logging into Mario Kart.
It's easier because it's like these tracks already exist, dude. They already exist. That's the other thing, right? They're just... It takes some work, right? I'm not trying to dismiss your honorable profession here, Luis. But it's got to be easier, right, to clean up these tracks. Like, they're already made, they're already balanced. Let's just fucking throw them in here for the next year. They're gonna pay us $50.
Luis had something to say about that.
It all depends, not necessarily, but because I mean, some of these they're doing. It's a Game Boy Advance track that they're putting into Mario Kart 8, right?
That's
so
fair.
it's not like they have 3D assets.
Okay,
or
They
whatever
are
necessarily.
updating the hell out of it and
So
like
I do
rebuilding
like
it
that,
from
and
scratch.
we will get to you, Luis. So I do want to. I'll give you the last point before we move on to the other Nintendo Direct stuff. But I think besides that, it is very much the Nintendo playbook, right? This is what it's gonna be. This is how they're gonna justify the $50 a year. Whereas this next year is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and the next year is Splatoon DLC, and the next year after that is Toadstool or whatever, right? This is how they will be justifying this $50, which I guess in a way, if you're a big fan of Mario Kart, then this is a pretty okay deal, right? Because you still got to pay for online and the rest of the things. But Luis, so what are your? I guess I'll give you the final thought on this Mario Kart thing. But you think there's more to it, right? There's more to it than just like, let's slap on the old tracks and put them into this new one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know their process. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm sure
Like, I don't know their
it's a
thought
lot of
process.
rework. And honestly, if they did this and put it in a Mario Kart 9, people would just say, "Oh, it's just new tracks. Well, you guys didn't change anything." So that they can't really win here. The smartest move for them is to put it in an existing game that's still selling like hotcakes. It's like a 100% attach rate to the Switch, and just $25 get double the tracks.
Yeah.
But the thing that I don't know that I'm curious about now is if you stop paying for Nintendo Switch Online $50, $80 version, do you lose access to this and the Animal Crossing
That's
thing? Because if that's the case, then it just makes sense to pay for this lowest version and just pick up what you want when they announce it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because if we do a quick math, it's even if you're like, I just want to have the tracks, right, which makes sense. I just want to buy the tracks to have them. But in order for you to play online, you still have to pay at least $20, right, to play online. So it's one of
And
those
that's
where
cheaper than the $50 version.
It's $5 cheaper, and you actually probably own the tracks, right, than what you're saying, where you're like, you pay $50 and I don't have the content, which we don't know, right? I guess we should do a little investigation, but continue, Lisa, and then
because if that's the case, then their whole like adding the Animal Crossing expansion and the Mario Kart expansion, it just doesn't make any sense, like really, because at the moment you decide to stop paying for Nintendo Switch Online, you lose it, and then they don't even announce it, like at least with PlayStation Plus, you get like before the next month comes up and you want to sign up. They say, "Oh, the new games are going to be this." Versus with Nintendo, it's just like a surprise. Sometime in the year, they might drop 1 or 2 expansion packs that you'll pick up, even if you don't want them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's more what I'm curious about, because this made me consider for a quick second, oh, maybe I should get it. And then I thought, wait, that's just a waste of money because I don't even want to play Animal Crossing anymore. Like,
That's just a waste of money.
It's shenanigans. It's shenanigans, just like Xbox Gold for the longest time and PlayStation Plus for the longest time, right? They were like, they're just trying to kind of suck you into the ecosystem, right? Because that's the holy grail, the subscription based, like, pay us every month, forget that we're charging you every month. And that's like the gold mine, right? Go ahead, Dalan.
Hey, the one thing I will say about the whole Switch Online thing is that if they do a Game Pass situation like Xbox, they'd be doing just fine. They just need to do. They don't even have to update it every month or nothing like that. Every couple of months, switch out some games, give us some better games. Switch them out every couple of months. People would pay for that.
The way Nintendo sees it, though, you're getting NES games, you're getting SNES games, you're getting Sega games.
You get 64 games, and they're all trash.
But you're getting, that's the way Nintendo sees it, though. They're like, but we don't understand. You're getting new games every month.
Why are you like not liking what we're giving you? Why are you not doing that? But so Mario Kart Shenanigans, I can see both sides of it, I suppose. I can look, to be honest though, Dalan turning on the lane assist turns me off of Mario Kart. Like, I'm sorry,
Hey,
but
man.
Dalan turning on the lane assist.
All right,
but
all right. No,
if you're a Mario Kart,
stop,
this
stop.
is why we're not gonna keep it under 60. Dalan, remember?
No, because you're hitting me up right now. For the record, it was on 200cc on Rainbow Road. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, everybody's falling out the stage if you don't have the lane assist on. In this case, everybody I was playing against had lane assist on while I had mine off, and I just kept flying off the stage.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What's happening here?" That was just not like that. Not like that.
Look, Dalan, the lane assist, I just don't like you doing it. All right, like
it was the only stage. It was literally the only stage.
Just don't do that, Dalan. Just don't do that. All right, and you're on wax saying that you hit up the lane assist. But anyways, that's Mario Kart 8. So if you're a fan, there's ways for you to access this content. Nintendo's trying to fleece you for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to pay extra.
You kind of do, actually, to be honest, because you're paying.
Hey, if somebody else does, you don't have to.
That's true. That is a way to circumvent the shenanigans, but someone will have to have paid. So the next thing that someone will have to have paid for, Dalan, I'm interested. This one's for you. They did announce Portal Companion Collection, which means comes with Portal 1, Portal 2. It's the full co-op experience, split screen, local, and online availability. Are you grabbing this for the Switch, Portal Companion Collection?
Most likely, simply because I loved Portal 2 and I never actually got a chance to play Portal 1, and it's just more puzzles for me to enjoy, and co-op for that matter. So if anybody's down to get it with me, I will play that with them as well. But I will run it by myself. It is Portal.
You will be sad, dude. You need a partner in that game. You will be sad to do it. Next up, Splatoon 3 did get confirmed. They confirmed for summer 2022. And that one, maybe you know a little bit more about it, but I know that Luis, but this has like they're talking about co-op salmon run, or how I like to say it, salmon run. Luis, are you pretty? This reminds me, dude. This is why I will bust out my Wii U. I never did play through Splatoon 1 or 2, and I think I have 2 downloaded on my Switch too. So this is kind of my next obsession of I gotta play 1 and 2 before 3. But what are your thoughts, Luis, on Splatoon 3 getting confirmed?
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, I never played 1. I did play 2. I played it pretty heavily when I first got a Switch. It was one of my first Switch games. And they had Salmon Run on there. I don't know if it existed on the first one or not.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a co-op sort of boss fight. Essentially, it's kind of hard to explain. I don't want to get too into the nitty-gritty, but basically it's a big boss fight, and you kind of have to take care of a boss in different ways.
You could play it online.
It did. Yeah, it did look like they were introducing a new salmon run in there at the very end, like with the new boss. I hadn't seen that guy yet. But yeah. So we'll see, because I like these games, but not a lot of people play them necessarily. So, or at least not people that I know. Like, you can just play online and whatever.
Yeah,
but I'm hyped for this.
It's definitely one of those, like, I like the art style. It reminds me of Jet Set Radio. I know people are talking about Jet Set Radio out there, but no, it's Jet Set Radio. It reminds me of that kind of vibe, like Dreamcast vibes, dude. Like, that's really Splatoon. That's what it reminds me of. So to me, I'm kind of sad that I really haven't gotten into it. But and it's a friendly Gears of War, Dalan. It's a friendly child-friendly Gears of War, man. It's a third-person shooter. They're shooting paint around, but
hey, man, I couldn't get those controls down.
Yeah, well, I just mess with it. Look, I'm sure they got lane assist on there, man, and you'll be good. You'll be good for Splatoon 3, all right? You can turn that on. But yeah, Splatoon 3, finally, that's confirmed, summer 2022. I'm kind of hyped for it. I will have to play 1 and 2 to be more hyped for it. Dalan, I know this one was one you kind of liked, right? But Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, I know it was announced on the Nintendo the Direct, but it's also coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, so it's coming out for everything. Are you picking it up on Switch, or we grabbing some trophies on this, Dalan? What are you thinking here?
There is a difference between being excited for it and having something to say about it. In this particular case, Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, is just a long way of saying enhanced version. I saw the trailer for this. I was like, they're just porting it and updated some of those textures. and it looks exactly the same. I know they're not going to add any type of voice acting to it or nothing like that, so it looks like it's going to be just as boring as it was the first time I played
Oh
it.
damn!
I know.
Okay, damn.
Oh,
Oh,
snap.
you know,
Hey man,
hey,
if you're gonna bring back a game and just enhance it, might as well bring back
damn, dude.
Legend of Dragoon and Parasite Eve. Bring those games back. This game, it was fine where it was. You didn't need to bring it back.
See, like this is where I wish Dale was here because he's definitely our resident EGM fan. Well, I'm an EGM fan too. He would understand that Chrono Cross got a 10, and a 9.5 in EGM, which
I know it did.
they blasted that guy. They blasted the 9.5 guy. He still talks about it to this day. To this day, he still talks about it. All right, about how people give him shit for the longest time that game didn't get a platinum. It deserved a platinum. Blah blah blah. That being said, this will be a time I actually played through it. I did play through it a little bit, and it was kind of pretty.
Hey man,
cool.
you're gonna be doing a lot of reading.
And
you're gonna be doing a lot of reading.
I'm okay with that. And we were playing it because we were kids. We don't do this anymore, right, Dylan? We don't do this anymore. But when we were kids in high school, we would pop in a PC emulator. You have to put in a disc or something. Was it Bleem or no?
Man, are you okay, Carlos? What are you talking about?
Bleem was on Dreamcast. It did exist, so don't fuck with me. But what were we using for PlayStation to emulate a PlayStation on the PC back then?
Oh, I know what you're talking
All
about.
of a sudden we know what I'm talking about.
No. There was a point where we had to replace the top of the PlayStation with a special lid, and then you had to like hold down the reset button before you put the new disc. It was a weird ass.
We were playing this thing on the computer, dude. I didn't have a play. Remember, I never had a PlayStation 1, so I was playing it on my PC at some point. But anyways, Chrono Cross, I'm grabbing it on PS4. I know it's more convenient on the Switch, but I'm gonna grab it on PS4 and get me those sweet trophies. They are adding an extra game though to it. I didn't put it down, but they're adding an extra game, right, Dalan, or something Chrono Cross
for
related?
Chrono Cross.
Yeah, some other
not that I'm aware of.
or something. But anyways, this one Chrono Cross, it's April 7th. That's when it's dropping. I guess Dylan is like, this game was boring.
Hey,
so
I will give it a shot. If I give it a shot, it'll be on PC, and if I don't care for it, it will stay dead on my PC.
Oh damn! Well, you have already had paid for it, so I mean, you did not win on that one. If that's what happens. Triangle Strategy. I don't know if you care about Octopath Traveler, but this is kind of like the follow up to that. Triangle Strategy. A demo was up, and the save data transfers to the full game. If you guys are interested in that. Luis, were you able to give this thing a shot, or what are your thoughts on this?
No, not yet, but I will.
Okay.
Especially because what they threw out, it's a pretty long sort of demo, right? And
Yeah, it was like a 2-hour demo, man.
yeah, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. I mean, I've always been interested in that sort of type of like game.
HD
The-
2D. 2D
No,
HD
not
or
like
whatever
the
it's
art
called?
style,
He's
but
talking
like
about
the actual like
tactics. He's talking about
the
tactics.
tactics sort of combat style. So I'll check that out.
Okay.
Hey man, a few things I'll say about it. People can die in that game, so don't let them die. The story can wildly change, and I'm talking about from person to person. In the middle of the game, they make you have those RPG decisions where when you say something, they will respond in kind.
Did you try out the demo, Dale? You tried this one
I
out?
did.
Or no? Okay. Did you
I
like
did.
it? Are you excited about the full game?
Well, when I played the original demo when it first came out, so there was some lackluster abilities that you could do in it.
Demo? They already dropped the demo.
Yeah,
It's like they updated the demo. That's what they ended up doing. And then when they updated the demo, then I didn't play the updated version of the demo, but apparently they corrected some of their lacklusterness. And then Jeremy Lowe, he was definitely on it at that point. So I'm waiting for that game to come out. It was fun when I played it, and I'm sure that it's just going to be more fun with the updates that they did.
Yeah.
And it's basically like we've been waiting for Final Fantasy Tactics for a long ass time. We get this. At least we have something in between.
I was about to say when Luis was speaking that it's like, Dalen, tell him about this most superior version of this type of game, right? And it's Final Fantasy Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, no, I love tactics, man.
Oh, you did mess with tactics. So you have played this type of game then? Did you?
That's what I just said. I love that sort of combat style, Carlos. What do you mean?
He's not
Look,
listening. He's not listening.
No, we got to go back to the wax. We don't have to do it now, but I feel like I need to rewind where I feel like you said that I've been wanting to try this type of game, but it's on wax, right? It's there.
Check the tape.
It's there. We'll check the tape later. So you didn't really care for Octopath Traveler then, Luis, right? So this is more what you
I
want
don't
to
even know
play
what that is, so no.
Octopath
Yeah,
Traveler.
Octopath. Hey, it's free on the Xbox Game Pass. You can
Oh,
actually
there
try
you
it,
go.
but
There you go.
it plays wildly different than Triangle Strategy. I can tell you that right
Well,
now.
it's more of a straight up RPG, right? It's more of a traditional RPG, but the play style or the graphics are pretty nice. It's
Hey,
basically the
I
same
don't know what
graphical
was. I
style.
don't know what the heck was happening with those little defense points things that was happening in Octopath Traveler.
It
You had to
was
really figure that
It was
that
pretty nice,
defense point
dude.
thing out.
The few hours I put into it was pretty nice. The other big thing, of course, is we got another update to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's dropping March 25th, and apparently there's a quote unquote mouthful mode. Kirby can straight up inhale real world objects. So if you guys saw the little memes of Kirby swallowing up a whole car, that's where that comes from.
He
So
saw the whole car and started driving around.
he started driving around, so people were swallowing up all kinds of crap online. I stayed on I put my safe search on, so I didn't see nothing crazy. But I'm sure Kirby was up to some shit.
Hey, at some point, he swallowed a tent and was like floating around.
There you go. Luis, your thoughts on this, man? Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped about Karby, man. Karby's gonna be sick. But
Kirby, there you
yeah.
go.
So if you guys did you guys see the whole trailer or not?
I saw a little bit
Yes.
pieces, but please do.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that's just it. The mouthful mode is like it's the new game mechanic. It's not just a car. It's like a bunch of different things that you could swallow up and change how your combat style and play style and all that. So I'm excited for this because I haven't really been that excited about a Kirby game in a long time, and this looks like it'll be pretty fun. Mostly frictionless, hopefully, just like a good game to pick up
Oh, let's get
and
a
check
little.
out. So
Let's get a little game of the year action going. Frictionless gaming.
yeah.
Dale's number 2 game of the year, surprisingly so, was Ratchet and Clank. Frictionless gaming, dude. A children's game. A children's game. So yeah, I'm kind of Kirby. I'm down for that, man. We got a lot of things going on for Nintendo, as they've proven with
I
this
don't know. I
direct.
said no.
There's a whole lot of stuff. Oh, Dan, you got some thoughts before we move on to Kirby and the Forgotten Land?
Well, I didn't know I said no to this particular subject. But part of it, I did mention, I did actually see the fact that he ate a tent. He was eating other stuff and transforming into different shapes. And I've been a fan of Kirby for the longest time. I even love that little. Well, actually, one of my favorite was is that Kirby golf game on the Super Nintendo. I can't remember what it was called right now. But I'm hoping that this is going to be like the what was it, Mario Galaxy. I'm hoping that this is the Mario Galaxy of Kirby, where they make a comeback with this awesome game.
There we go. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. They're making it a little darker too, right? It's kind of the vibe.
Post-apocalyptic
Kirby. All right. And you know what the fun part about Kirby games, Dalan? They have the built-in lane assist. They have it built in. The lane assist is built in Kirby games.
Carlos, don't hurt yourself trying to bring up this.
They are basically on easy mode all the time, Dan, so you should be good on that. The next game on here that we have is Mario Strikers Battle League. It drops June 10th, 2022. That's a soccer game. Or as it's called, I think in Europe, they make sure that football is in the title. I think they put Mario Strikers Battle League football to make sure that that's what we call soccer across the pond. Luis, your thoughts on Mario Strikers?
It's not just across the pond, man. We're the only people that call it soccer, the
That's
United States of America. So the whole
that's
world
true.
is on track with this one.
Just
But,
like we don't use the metric system.
Oh man, we're doing all kinds of things our own way, just like Frank Sinatra. But yeah, so this one looks like it'll be the new game that is like the smoke creator, right? The new Smash Brothers, the new like Mario Kart, the new like I'm gonna whoop you and I'm gonna whoop you really hard and you're gonna start crying.
Oh wow, phrase.
So we'll see. No, that was exactly how I wanted to say it. There was no other way to say it.
That was the best. That was the only way to say
it. Was the most appropriate.
So
way.
we'll see, man. This might be the reason why I have to get Nintendo Switch Online once this comes out, so we could just get in a nice smoky lobby.
If you're that serious about it, I'm down. Dude. I'm actually more hyped about it now.
Down.
Hearing you talk all this mess, all this smoke.
Hey man, you give us a good competitive game, we're most likely in. And I remember I was looking at this trailer and I was thinking, man, this kind of reminds me of Mutant League Football because I enjoyed the hell out of Mutant League Football and I'm ready to actually get down in some this Mario Strikers and get him updated so he has that stupid looking football helmet that I saw in the trailer.
So they're keeping it wacky,
Like,
man. Keeping it
they
extra
give him those Goku, like the one eye glass thing. I don't even remember what those are called. The scanner. They gave him a scanner.
Hey, you guys actually got me kind of hyped for this, man. All this little smoke back and forth. This will be the game that we get down in, and it's soccer. It's football out here. This one's for you, Dalan. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. I thought this game's been coming out forever, man. It's finally coming out.
They keep postponing it.
April 8th, 2022. Are you hyped for this, Dalan? Even though it's kind of just
yes.
like a reboot, right? Or remake.
No, they are remaking it, but obviously most of the story is gonna be around the same thing. But they added a bunch of art to it. They updated the graphics. I'm assuming they actually updated some of the gameplay for people to play. I want to say locally, but even when I played Advance Wars before, it was like I would do my turn and then I would have to hand the console over to whoever I was playing with, or we'd be playing with the emulator on the PC and then we'd be like, all right, I'm gonna play my turn, look away. And I'm not sure if that's gonna be the same.
Did you say emulator, Dalan? Did you say
Hey,
emulator?
I did say emulator. We did emulators, Carlos. We went over at some point you brought up bootleg discs, so don't get on me about emulation.
I'm pretty sure Advance War was after you were gainfully employed, Dalan. I'm pretty sure.
No, I was still a child. What is wrong with you?
My bad. Not to say that kids are not doing illegal things by downloading emulators and ROMs, but we were definitely not gainfully employed during these moments in time. All right, I'm gonna put it to you.
Yeah, you trying to have me in sweatshops? Thanks, Carlos.
Whoa, Dalan. Whoa. Yeah, I'm glad you're hyped about that. Does it have an online mode or anything?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can battle.
This new one has online gameplay and local gameplay. I think they had a co-op version, but I can't remember. I had to look it up again.
Nintendo's keeping us well entertained, dude. So that's the Nintendo Direct. It was kind of,
but nice. Not through the expansion pack, just through new good games.
No, if you like Mario Kart, dude, I mean, you've been logging into that thing for the longest time. They're just giving you another excuse, right? They're giving you the perfect excuse to keep going back into it. As Luis was saying, it has an 1,000% attach rate to the Switch, right? It's basically 10 to 1. People are buying 10 copies per Switch console for Mario Kart. But anyway, so we'll move on to the quick takes for the week. This was kind of interesting.
I think, Luis, did you have a story, though?
Stop messing with
no.
Leave him alone. Oh,
okay.
So, Dalan, please. Please.
Hey, man.
Please, Dalan, please. All right. So the next thing on here, we do have a little bit of spiciness, a little bit of smoke out here about Forbidden West, which is Horizon Forbidden West, which comes out in a few days. There's a guy that I follow online, and he's kind of making the rounds. He's a lawyer. I don't know his first name, but I think his last name is Hoeg, Hoeg, and he's talking about like maybe they're coming forward with the lawsuit. I believe that Sony was having sort of deceptive marketing practices for the PlayStation 4 to PS5 upgrade. One of his main things was the fact that Sony had said that you can have a free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 after just buying the cheaper PlayStation 4 version. But if you went to their PlayStation store online, they would kind of put front and center the more expensive, what is it, $70 PS5 version, but you would have to kind of toggle through it to get yourself to the PlayStation 4. And if you guys remember back, this is supposed to be the last game that Sony will do a free upgrade before they go full into $10 for GTA 7, $10 for the next God of War. Like, you need to pay the $10 to upgrade for a next gen version. But Luis, what do you think, man? Do they have something that if somebody was trying to bring kind of a class action lawsuit or whatever it is, do you think they have something here, or what do you think?
Maybe because like that's the whole argument that they're being deceptive about it. But really, I feel like they kind of do that with any game that they're selling. Like they promote the more expensive versions first, and then they say, "And here's the regular edition."
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to track to. You go on the PlayStation Store, it shows the more expensive version that comes with both versions of the game for both PS4 and PS5. And if you just scroll down a little bit, it shows the PS4 version that'll give you the free upgrade to PS5.
Yeah.
But when you're on the PlayStation Store on a PS5, it doesn't show the PS4 version at all. So you're paying for the more expensive one that it exactly the same thing if you were to get the PS4 version with the free PS5 upgrade, and you're saving like what, 10,
Yeah,
20
like
bucks,
10
something like
bucks or
that.
whatever. Yeah, because I even went for that too. I bought the PlayStation 4 version. That's the one that's coming to me in a few days from Amazon because of this. I was
Hmm.
like, why would I buy the PS5 one when I can just get the PlayStation 4 version and get the free upgrade? Right. So
You
Right.
know, I'm gonna have to ask you guys about this later because I can't even pull up the PS5 version. That's how bad it is for me.
okay, that's interesting. So we'll off there, Dylan. We'll help you out with that. But I agree with there's some trickiness, of course, that's kind of there's some trickiness to the way they're kind of presenting the information to you, the way Sony is kind of pushing the more expensive version when there's obviously the cheaper one, the PlayStation 4 version. Now, does that warrant a lawsuit? I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. I guess we're
Hmm.
gonna find out. That's why lawsuits, they frivolous or not, they can all be brought forward. But we'll see if this goes anywhere. Honestly, I think Sony was kind of caught off guard a little bit, that people were like, what the Sony, what the hell is this? Especially when Xbox does the smart delivery where you just get the best version, right, of any of them, of whatever you're running their games on, you're getting the best version for that, or the version that you need. So yeah, it's a little tricky. I think Sony, I don't know if they retrace their steps on GT7, Gran Turismo 7, or God of War, or maybe at that point enough people have PlayStation 5s, right, where they're like, you know what, just buy the PS5 version. What are you doing? What are you over here
Yeah,
doing?
no, those are definitely going to be a $10 upgrade path.
Yeah, they already said it, right? They were like, that's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. They're just kind of making good on this one, and they're like, fine, we'll give you one more. We do have a little bit of like a kind of a on video games making that transition into film and TV and all that. We have a couple of Paramount Plus specifically has been in the news. They're doing a couple different video game things. There's the Sonic Adventure 2 movie that's coming out, and they already said there's a third one coming. And not only that, but they said there's going to be a live action Knuckles series that comes out for Paramount Plus. And that's with, of course, Idris Elba. So there's Paramount Plus. They're also talking about Halo live action, but we'll talk about the Sonic stuff first, Dalan. What are your thoughts on the Sonic stuff, man?
Well, I was happy to hear that they decided to move on to the third Sonic movie because, again, for the second Sonic movie, I'm glad that they're actually following the storyline of the games themselves. So I'm sure that the third Sonic
And
game
what
is
a
going to
beautiful
basically be Sonic
storyline did it
Knuckles.
have, Dalan? What an
Hey,
incredible,
man, I
incredible
know you
story
don't care
Sonic
about
2
the
has, man.
lore. I know you don't care about the lore,
Uh-huh.
but it was actually an interesting thing because I kind of remember with that when Sonic 1, 2, and 3 came out, they had to backtrack a little bit and they had that little extension thing that you had to put in your Sega Genesis in order to actually put Sonic 3 on top of it so you could add Sonic and Knuckles to your game. It was a weird thing.
This is a 4-stage lore, right? To be correct, it's 4 stages of lore, right?
Yes,
That's
it's
what you
four
want
stages
them
of lore.
to follow in a 90-minute movie, right? 4 stages of
Oh
lore.
no, no, they're doing it in the two separate movies. They're probably going to skip their
Oh well, yeah,
weird
four stages.
contradictory stories that they had.
Four
But
stages justifies two TV shows or two movies, right?
hey, I was about to say I don't know if Knuckles is popular enough to really pull off a TV show, especially not quite yet. And Paramount Plus is already like, you know what, Idris Elba is involved, so we're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, look, at Paramount Plus, obviously they have a whole bunch of money to throw around right now, and they're like, you know what? We'll get a guy with some tude. Yeah, let's get Knuckles. Let's get Knuckles as our
Thank you,
series.
Stephen
Yeah,
Colbert.
there you go.
Anyways,
He's got enough tude. The other one, this was for you too, Dalen. So the Halo live action series. This is kind of to show you how much I believe, how much like, how much belief they have in the Halo series that they already kind of ordered the second series. The second season is already ordered before the first one even airs. So what are your thoughts on this, Dan? The fact that Paramount Plus is like, yeah, give us another one. Let's get another Halo season.
I don't know how I feel about that simply because I've seen the quality of some of those previous Halo outings that people have made to try and actually make. There was I don't even remember the name of the other Halo things because I know they already did a live action Halo like mini movie or something like that. I guess it was a full movie.
I think
I think
Neil Blomkamp, I believe is his name or something.
whatever. I felt
chappy
like
guy,
that was
the chappy guy, District 9 or what. I think he did like a short, like a Halo, like short or something like that. But anyways,
no, there was actually a whole movie that it came out and it was live action. The only good Halo like actual film thing that came out, aside from the guy who moved over to Red versus Blue, but the only good Halo thing that really came out was that special thing that was like the Animatrix, but it was Halo. I don't know if you remember that. It was like a little DVD that came with one of the games.
Yes, maybe, sort of. I don't think they've ever. I don't think they've ever, to this extent, done a Halo thing. They've done clips.
No, they
done,
did.
like,
they did a movie, I can't remember.
But a fan movie though. A fan movie.
Yeah, it was basically.
But that's
a fan
not.
movie.
That's what I'm saying. To this extent.
No, it actually had production and it was under a company and everything.
No, but like to the point where it's like actually backed by whoever Microsoft owns it, right? I'm assuming now, like that it's backed from the actual people that make the game. I don't think they've done it to this extent, but of course, there's been fan type of Halo projects, right? So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It drops next month. They already ordered the second season, so they're pretty sure about it. But we'll see. I mean, Paramount Plus is like, we need to throw all the money. We're down to throw all the money at everything.
It was Halo Forward Unto Dawn, and then Halo Landfall. They actually had those two come out together.
Yeah, but they weren't like full on movies. They were like kind of clips or kind of like, they're getting you into.
You're looking for the word shorts.
Yeah, they were shorts, basically. Yeah, right. So not to this extent where they're actually like being serious about a whole series. They are getting serious about another thing. This one's for Luis. The Bioshock film is finally confirmed, and Take-Two is involved, and it's going to be a Netflix production. So I really enjoyed all the games, man. I think one was, of course, I think the best one story-wise, and I think Infinite was pretty damn good too. 2 was more kind of an action game. I don't know if the story was necessarily the most incredible, but 2 was definitely good, and the Minerva's Den was kind of the nicest DLC we had seen up to that point. But Luis, what are your thoughts on this, man? The fact that it's confirmed we're getting a Bioshock film.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, really unexpected. But I'm interested to see what they do with it. I'm actually, for whatever reason, feel pretty good that it's in pretty good hands. I don't know why, but yeah, we'll see what Netflix does with it. I'm sure they'll do something. I mean, they did pretty good with The Witcher, so we'll see what happens with this.
Just like Cowboy Bebop, they'll do 10 nicely produced episodes and be like, you know what? We're gonna cancel it. We've seen
that's the problem with Netflix, though. They drop shows a lot real quick, and I mean on.
So if you're not giving us money for like 1 or 2 seasons, we're out.
Well, but look, if this
not
is
even that though, they just dropped the whole like Marvel series, right? So they canceled all the shows, and now they're just removing them from Netflix. So.
That was a different issue, though.
Yeah, I think that's more like a maybe licensing type of situation. Right?
Yeah,
sure. But they do have for a lot of shows,
Yeah, but I guess in a way, if it is a film, at least we kind of get a complete story, right? We won't have to be stuck at.
That's the hope, yeah.
Yeah. Who was the character? Did you watch the Cowboy Bebop live action, Dalan? Who's the character that?
Yeah.
Ed. They won't like introduce Ed. It's like, nah, that's it. That's all you see. That is it in that song. We are moving on. The other thing here we have is Martha is Dead. I hadn't really heard about this game, but it's kind of a big deal now because it will show up edited on PlayStation, so not on Xbox or PC. Those are getting the full unadulterated version. I by mistake saw like sort of a clip of this game where somebody's head was getting sliced up, and I was like, ugh, this is gross. But that's not the point, right, Luis? Maybe you can back me up on this, but that's not the point. The point is they're getting censored over here, right? It doesn't have to be for me, but the fact that it's like, wait, one of these boxes will give me an uncensored version of a game. It's like we're going back to what's the last game? I think Manhunt did it, or there was like a Rockstar Games back in the day where on GameCube they were censored, right?
Hey, there was another one more recent than that got censored, and it was Devil May Cry. They ended up adding just PlayStation, nobody else, just PlayStation decided to add more lens flares in order to actually cover up more body.
Interesting. Okay, I'm trying to remember. I'm sure there's more examples of this. I mean, we can go all the way back to like Super Nintendo and Genesis, right? Where was it the SNES version was getting sweat? It was not blood. It's sweat. But on the Genesis version, you would get blood. So it was just a different hue, right? One of them was red and one of them was sweat color. But Luis, what are your thoughts on this, man? As far as like, you need to come.
Well, that's the only reason I heard about this game at all is because everyone was in an uproar that Sony is censoring a title when basically, so the whole thing here is that the ESRB, this third party that rates games, says, "Oh, this game's fine. It's rated for this audience," and then you put that rating on it, ship it, whatever. But for whatever reason, yeah, Sony just doesn't like, and I don't even know what it is. I mean, you just spoiled something for me. I don't know what it was, but well, he said someone's head was getting chopped.
Don't even
I
repeat
didn't know
it.
anything about it.
Okay, well, yeah. If you're gonna play it,
It's a horror game.
It's a horror game.
But yeah, so for whatever reason, Sony decides, you know what, we don't want this in our version of the game, and that's what's got people sort of in an uproar because everyone else says it's fine. So I don't know. If I do play it, I'll probably get it on PC for probably obvious reasons because I don't want the censored version of this title. But yeah, it's just kind of bizarre that they can just decide to do that, But whatever.
Well, I think what it is, it's every company has like their own quote unquote standards, right? And for whatever reason, Sony along the way was like, look, we do not want that on our PlayStation for whatever reason, right? Like there has to be like, but I would assume like the developer must have been able to petition this. So this kind of has me like question like, oh, let's blow it up. Sony's trying to censor us. It's like that's the only reason I know it exists, and I think you said it, Luis. That's the only reason this game exists. So if anything, maybe it's one of those things where the developer, maybe you can tell me if you believe it or not. But maybe it's like a roadblock to where like, what the hell? Sony doesn't like this. We're gonna blow it up. We're gonna tell people that they're censoring us. Do you think it's a marketing thing, or do you think it's a legitimate like, what the hell, man? We're trying to make
it could be a bit of both, honestly. I didn't put much thought into that, but it could be a bit of both. Sure. This blowing up, definitely I heard about it because of this, and so who knows.
So we'll see what happens with that game. It might come out as just another BMX XXX or whatever. I think that's another one. On GameCube things were blocked out, but on Xbox you could see the full whatever you needed to see on there. The next thing on here is, so the Resident Evil 4 remake is kind of getting a little bit more steam. We got a couple more details. I mean, nothing confirmed yet, so it's kind of rumors. It's not supposed to be a scene for scene retelling. It's supposed to include more horror. So like some of the stages are supposed to happen at dark, so in a darker stage. So they're kind of switching some things up. We might get a reveal coming up in the next few years. IGN is telling us that early 2022. But what do you think about this, Dalan? What do you hype for a Resident Evil 4 remake?
I am fine with a full Resident Evil 4 remake as long as they can keep the core of the story, because the story itself was actually really good, and I don't want them to veer significantly far off from what Resident Evil, the stories that they did tell, because then suddenly all the other games are going to become non-canon.
And of course, you're talking about a Resident Evil story that was done in under 3 weeks on the can, right? That's what you're talking about right now, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're welcome. And then obviously they started walking away from the horror, then they came back to the horror with 7. So I'm hoping that they could really bring that horror back to Resident Evil 4 and just let me re-enjoy the game in all of its glory.
I will say though, I think I do like the fact that they're sort of on different tracks. Like I think in the last few years we've noticed that the first person aspect of Resident Evil, you're gonna get spooked. You're gonna go through some hallways through the cracks of the walls, and you're gonna have what are those centipedes or whatever those are called? You're gonna see them crawling in front of your face. 100-leg creatures, the 100-leg insects crawling right in front of your face. Spooky as hell. And the fact that we have the remakes that are a little more action oriented, right? Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes have been a little more actiony, right? Unless for 4, that was more of an action kind of game for the most part, right?
2, they still brought the horror to you, and they also had that guy chasing you, so that was a thing.
But it's you feel a little bit more in control a little bit. It's a little less scary, right? Resident Evil 2 and Resident
You
Evil
are
3.
more anxious when it's
Yeah.
in first person and you have limited movement.
Yes.
That is a huge aspect to being scared.
So I do like the fact that they're kind of going on different tracks. The remakes are a little more action heavy, and the first persons are more horror-y. But we'll see. We'll see what comes of this. Maybe it's like the perfect mix, Dalan. It's a perfect mix of horror and still sort of actiony. But we'll see. We're supposed to get an official reveal, I'm assuming, in the next few months. Luis, this one's for you. I don't know if you got to try it out, but apparently there's a PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 beta for whatever reason of like a firmware update where it has party chat options, UI enhancements, etc., etc. This is actually one of the early articles we had up from yourself, Luis, talking about how crappy the PlayStation 5 chat options are. Were you able to try these new like beta?
No, I don't have the beta or anything.
Okay.
And also, Carlos, what do you mean? They just ramped up on selling PS4s. Of course, they're gonna upgrade the firmware. You know.
Okay.
So
I mean, they
An
don't got
extra
the chips.
million.
They don't got the chips. They don't got the chips for the 5 yet.
yeah, but yeah. So they're update, but they're basically reverting back to what it used to be. So temporary party chats are coming back, is what it is. But you'll still have the option to do like the permanent ones. So we'll just be able to do that now. You know, hey, I started a party, join up, and then we'll jump into whatever game, and we don't have to worry about having 20 different chats with like the exact
Yeah.
same people in every single one.
Yeah.
So I just hope this comes out soon, man, because this is still the worst sort of quote unquote feature of the PlayStation 5 experience. It's just terrible.
Dude, and we're a year and like 3-4 months in, right, or however long it is. It's like damn,
Yeah.
they're still. And then they added a Discord thing. Now I have like Discord chats in my party thing. I'm like,
Oh,
why
I
is
still
this
haven't
happening?
figured that out.
Why is this
I
happening?
still haven't figured out the Discord thing.
So
You could sync it, but it's not great.
Why did they do this? Like, I don't understand why they did. I understand not going back to the PlayStation 3 era of things, the X bar or the crossbar, but with an X. I understand that, but I mean, the PlayStation 4 was doing things right, dude. And you had options when you held the button. You had options for your chat options, if that was loud or lower. Sony, what do you do?
Yeah, now you just press the PS button. If you hold it, it just makes a sound for some reason.
No,
It doesn't
but the
give
problem
you
is that you got to press the PS button, then you got to go to your settings, and you got to find the audio set. You
No,
got to
it's
do a
right
bunch
there.
of
It's a
extra
little audio
steps.
icon, dude. It's a
Nah,
little
dude, you gotta
audio
do way
icon
more
on
than
the
that.
bottom.
Nah, there are certain things that you cannot do in that audio icon.
When I want to go full, like, give me just the game audio or give me the game audio plus
It's
the
right
chat,
there.
I gotta look at it, but it's definitely it's a big problem. It's
You
a big
guys might just
problem.
need to add those options in.
But it was already there. All right, well, moving on to what you've been playing. What you've been playing here, Luis. I hear you've been playing a little. You're doing a little catching them all on what you've been playing this past week,
Yeah,
man. What you playing?
having a lot of fun with this one. Picked it up and then just basically played it nonstop, like from the moment I started playing it. So I got, I don't know how many hours now. Last I looked, it was like 20 plus hours on Pokemon Legends.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
digging it a lot, man. I'm digging it a lot. It's a nice sort of blend between old mechanics and new mechanics. And
Hey, don't get blown up.
okay, I know what you're talking about,
why
but
would
it's
he?
fine.
Come on, Dalan. We're talking about catching Pokemon here. What's going on here?
But let's see. Yeah, so from the last Pokemon game that came out, it felt like a very half-assed version of like open world. It basically was just 3D walking from one location to the next and it didn't feel that just sort of
Revolutionary.
immersive or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, this one actually did kind of strike a nice balance between open world and the new mechanics of like you can decide to battle a Pokemon or you can just try to catch it by throwing a Pokeball at it with different sort of berries or the way you throw, which ball you throw, where it hits them. So
It's
yeah,
a
yeah, I'm
little
digging it.
more visceral, if you can say, in that way, right? Where you're actually out in the world and you're like, let me pop this fool in the head real quick, or
Mhm.
kind of find other strategies to get the Pokemon. And are you appreciating the little poof, the little firework poof after you catch a little poof?
There it is.
It's
There's that
cute.
sound effect. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
cute.
yeah.
It's cute. I haven't gone back to it mainly because I went to Earthbound. Nintendo told me about Earthbound, and I'm playing it's 8-bit. Oh, it's damn 8-bit. That game is super 8-bit. But so Pokemon Legends Arceus, are you feeling any type of way about the graphics? Because I know online people have been kind of hating on the graphics, but what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, they're fine. I don't need anything that looks like Gran Turismo 7 graphics or anything. You know what I mean? It's a Pokemon game. It's stylized. Sure, they're doing a lot of things with draw distances and clipping where sometimes if you're running too fast, you show up before a Pokemon sort of shows up, and then you scare it away without realizing it was there because it hadn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
So
That
Yeah.
sucks.
so you kind of just have to change your play style of like it's sort of trial and error because then you learn, oh, the Pokemon kind of spawn here sometimes, so you slow down before you get there.
But you
But
do
yeah,
you
it's
do
just them trying to
agree.
make this thing run on the
Yeah,
Switch,
yes,
you know?
yeah. But you do agree that it is a little rough, right? And there's a generous lathering of Vaseline when
I
you're
wouldn't
riding
say the
around.
Vaseline. It doesn't look as good as many games today, but
Yeah,
I have no problems with it
yeah.
because it's a Pokemon game. I
And the
don't expect
mechanics
anything
are
to
there,
look
right?
super amazing.
Do you
Yeah.
like the checkpoint or the checklist system that they have where they actually like catch 9 Pokemon? Like I don't want to catch them anymore. But do you like that?
That
Or
yeah, that's fine. I think that's
okay,
fine. It's a decent way to level up, and it makes more sense because before, basically in the old games, it's like you catch the Pokemon once and you've studied it. You know everything there is to know about it, and it's just added to the Pokédex. You completed it. This way, every single one's kind of different. You catch a Pokemon, then you catch it different times, and then sometimes you have to knock it out with certain moves or feed it certain things or catch it under certain situations, like when they're sleeping or whatever. So I
so
do like that you have to kind of do that.
so far it's sort of an experiment, right? And they're like this is not a mainline Pokemon, but in a way they're kind of like trying to push people towards that direction, right? Would you like Pokemon games to kind of continue down this path of Pokemon Legends, or do you miss the old ways of how they were doing it?
I don't know. That's hard to say because I do enjoy this, but there's still a part of me that's sort of basically whenever I battle a Pokemon in this game, I've already put it in my head that I'm not going to catch it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's so much harder to catch it when you're in a battle versus just in the wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was sort of a cooler sense of that in the old games where you had to battle a Pokemon and then fight it, get it to a certain HP, and then catch it. Whereas you
Yeah.
can't really do that as well in these. I found it. So
And there's
yeah.
crafting. Do you craft these Pokeballs apparently, right? And
Oh,
there's
you have to,
healing
dude.
items and all this other stuff where I'm like, you know what, Pokemon. But I'll get back to it. I did dig it. What I played of it, I did dig the game. Dalan, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, had some things happen, but outside of that, I've actually
Whoa, Dalan,
just
are you
been
all right?
grinding.
Are you
Eh,
okay?
Uh, I am now. I've
Okay.
gotten I've gotten a little bit of sleep.
Oh
Uh,
damn. Okay. Damn.
but I've actually just been grinding Destiny actually, and then they dropped the end story for the season of the Lost for Destiny because now the Witch Queen's coming out. All the previous stuff is going to be going away, or at least a lot of the previous stuff is going to be going away. Some exotic weapons just not going to be able to get anymore. But I found out a lot of those exotic weapons that I thought were going away are just going to stay in the tower for where you need to get the. I don't even remember what that thing is called. I know I have one and I need to actually turn it in. An exotic cipher. You just need an exotic cipher and some extra stuff in order to get some of the older exotics. But again, some of those exotics are going away. So I took some time, got most of my exotics, and I did like every single mission that there is to do now. Now I'm just trying to finish the season of the Lost. I'm waiting for that Witch Queen to come out,
And
and
we pay
I'm
we
just
paid
excited.
$30, man. $30 for stuff that we missed
Hey,
out on apparently.
hey, season of the Splicer, we missed out on that, and all that extra stuff was more excellent than I expected it to be. Season of the Chosen, it was about as exciting as I expected it to be. So you could skip Season of the Chosen, Carlos, if you're trying to get through that. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying you can skip that. But the season of the Lost, which is the tracing the stars thing, you should get through that because it leads into the Witch Queen.
Well, look, let me put this podcast together. Maybe I'll join you for a little Desties before I take a nap. But
I'm
I'm
down.
definitely look. We've been getting into it. It's definitely very repetitive. I've had to do the same mission like 10 times. So thank you very much, Servitor or Splicer storyline. That's fine. But that's what Destiny is, man. And I'm just happy to get like some legit new content next week. So next week we should have. Well, actually, I think it comes out on Tuesday, right? So you guys might have to
Yeah,
wait.
next Tuesday.
You guys might have to wait maybe an extra week before you get our thoughts on it.
Hey, Iron Banner is up right now.
Oh, there you go. But Iron Banner will be back at some point. But yeah, Destiny 2. Luis, you will be there, right? With us for the Witch Queen next week, right? You will be there.
I think I paid for it, so I should be.
Oh, you ready? Okay, Luis is ready. So yeah, Destiny 2. I think I'm gonna be. I might feel a little sick when that game comes out. So we're gonna find out. But yeah, Destiny 2. I'm pretty hyped, man. That we're finally gonna get some new legit content. Other than that, speaking of new content, I started watching the Shenmue series, the animated series, and about 2 minutes in, Dalan, I was like, you know what? I gotta go play Shenmue 1, 2, and 3. So I did go back to play.
Luis was just like, no.
Like, what is wrong with you? And you'll be correct, Luis. There's a lot of things wrong with me, dude. But Shenmue 1, I went back to. I haven't played it since I was like 12, 13 years old, man. This is back. I played on the original Dreamcast, where this like 10, 12-hour game came on 3 discs. All right, you left one of these tiny towns and you're like, put in disc 2. I'm like, really? I just left this tiny ass town and I'm gonna put disc 2 in now. But Shenmue 1, there's a lot of things I kind of forgot. It's a stupidly cheesy game. The audio is cheesy. What makes it even worse is the fact that the audio recording of it, not just the actual like audio voice of it, but the recording of it sounds like like they recorded through a tin can or something, dude. It's terrible. It's horrible. Apparently on PC, there's a way to kind of get like some higher quality audio files into the game, but on on the PlayStation 4, they just give the crappy one. But it basically is waiting the game. It's waiting the game plus forklift driver driver for like 5-6 days, dude. And like you have to wait. You have to wait to go to sleep. You have to wait till you can start your shift. You have apparently a 2-hour lunch that you have to just wait through. And random crap just happens throughout the game. So, but what were you saying, Dylan? My bad, dude. I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I was just thinking about how we started playing another game in the middle of you waiting for Shenmue. You were like, I gotta wait until it's 7:00. I was like, what? Like, yeah, right. I gotta wait like 7 or 8 minutes. I gotta wait like 10, 12 minutes or something like that because you cannot time skip in that game. You can't go sit on a bench and let it skip time. You can't go somewhere and do something else. No, you have to be there and you gotta wait for the sun to set.
Dude, I have so an hour to pass in that game is 4 minutes. All right. So I have literally just stood in front of a door for like 48 minutes at one point. I walked away, went to go make myself a sandwich. I'm like, I just have to sit here. I have to stare at it. I looked at my Twitter. I watched some NBA. I'm like, let me catch up on some games real quick because this game does not let me skip. But other than that,
but you could have went and did other stuff. You just didn't want to go play video games or whatnot. You were like, nah, let me wait in front of this door.
So that's Shenmue. I did beat it. I forgot I thought it was a lot of QTEs. It's not as many QTEs as QTEs, quick time event, as you think or remember. But you do get a good amount of free battle, which is basically Virtua Fighter Lite. Virtua Fighter Lite. It's not as good as Virtua Fighter, but you kind of get that sense of it. I kind of did like that aspect of it. The forklift driving aspect to it, it's kind of funny, man, because I was 12, 13 when I played this game, and I remember like, forklift driving, okay, whatever, this is cool. Years later, I did do some forklift driver for a few years in my adult life, and I'm like, this is actually translating pretty damn well to the fact that this is boring as hell. Let me move these crates from here to the and you're doing it like you have a literal job for 4 or 5 days, and at the end of 4 or 5 days you get fired because you brought too much trouble to the little town. And you're like, we need to fire your ass. I did play through the game. I went into Shenmue 2. I started Shenmue 2 already. The audio's a little bit better, not incredible. It finally has widescreen because Shenmue 1 is 4:3, and the combat is smoother. So I'm sort of digging Shenmue 2, and I never played through Shenmue 2, so that's actually like a fresh experience. Other than that, I did play Earthbound Beginnings. That's on the Switch Online. Nintendo did add that. I like the feature of auto battle, Dylan, and I wanted to ask you, dude, do other RPGs do auto battles? There's got to be other RPGs that do that, right?
Very few, and the only one that even comes to mind is Bravely Default. That's the only one I can even think of. I know there was a couple others, but I can't remember. Oh, Persona 3 did it? Yeah, Persona 3 did it. You just hit triangle, it just auto battles.
I kind of like it. Especially, what's cool about this game, though, is if you die, you actually keep your XP. Like, you get knocked out, and you go back to your house, and then you can just go about your business again, and you actually keep that XP. So I kind of like that. But have you guys ever heard of this game, or Earthbound or whatever? It's a trippy game, dude. You start off fighting inanimate objects. The first thing you battle is a lamp. And then you battle hippies. I've been battling hippies for the last hour or so in that game.
No, I remember playing Earthbound on it. I think it was NES when it came out in America, because it was originally called Mother in Japan, but when it came out in America, it was Earthbound. But when I first played it, the only thing I really remember is a meteorite hitting into town, and then having to fight that lamp. Other than that, I don't remember anything. Oh, actually, I do remember being in like a circus or someplace, and when you're in the middle of battle, they didn't do a real battle system. We were like fighting each other because I was spoiled with Final Fantasy, because when I played Earthbound and saw those little flashes going across the screen, I was like, man, this game is gonna give somebody a seizure.
It might. I don't know, dude. I'm playing the 8-bit version.
Are they still doing the flashes? They do like the lightnings that slash across the screen, and it looks like it hits somebody. Is that what it's still doing?
There's no kind of action, dude. If you go to the 8-bit Earthbound, maybe on the SNES version of it, the next one, which might be Mother 2, I guess. This one's like the original NES version, and there's nothing like when you kill things, you're like, oh, the lamp went quiet. They go quiet, so people don't die in this game. They go quiet. But that's Earthbound Beginnings. I've been digging it, sort of. I don't know, dude. It's starting to get annoying, to be honest. Like, I'm definitely not made for these old school 8-bit games, but I'm gonna keep playing it. We'll end it on this one, the zinger. I don't know if you guys are interested, but apparently Horizon Forbidden West, there's going to be a Lego set. It was officially announced, releasing May 22nd for $80. 1,222 pieces, including an alloy figure and other machines. And it's kind of like a tonic, I believe is what they call these. Yeah, they call them a tonic in the game. Are you guys down to make this little piece of Lego goodness?
No, I am not.
Okay. Luis? Get the little piece.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. All right, that's reasonable.
It's like, why would Lego do this to us? Hey, leave that for Lego Masters. I'll let Lego Masters have Aloy in their new contraptions that they build on the show.
Hey, $80 for 1,200 pieces. I don't know. I might be down. For this. I might be down. It doesn't seem too terrible. But anyway, so that's been another episode of Salient Points. Plus, what you've been playing, a little combo episode there. I'm Carlos Macias. Thank you for joining me. Dalan Kirkwood from up in the mountains.
Hey, somebody tell Will Arnett there's more Legos.
Wow. Luis Mendez on the Wheels of Steel. Thank you very much, sir. And we'll see you guys next week. And Dale, we missed you. We'll see him next week, possibly. We'll see if he's around.
Help! You need help.
Help me. Help.